Okay, so in this week's upload, I wanted to make something that's a little bit more personal. The past year and a half has been tough, to say the least. Friends that I know that would have never opened up to me under normal circumstances are now calling me often to just talk and vent. But anyways, in this video, I really want to share with you some of the things that I've done that helped me become happier during the saddest time of my life. That's a bar. If you're new to the channel, I like to explain things in threes, and today will be no different. Also, let's not refer to them as things. I think it's better to refer to them as solutions. So let's start with that. Solution number one, face your demons. You have to ask yourself, why are you depressed during the lockdown? Is it because you're not seeing your friends? Is it because it's been forever since you've gone to a party? Or perhaps because the closest thing you've had to a date has been getting drunk over a Zoom call and lagging while trying to confess how you feel about the other person? Maybe. Those are all valid reasons, honestly, but there's one that I really feel trumps all of them that is not often discussed. I think it's because you're alone with your thoughts. Not those thoughts, those thoughts. See, one of the major side effects of the lockdown has been isolation. And when we are left alone with our thoughts, our mind tend to wander to places that we don't want to go to. Matter of fact, we spend a lot of energy trying to avoid that place. And that place has a name. I like to call it harsh reality. I think we've been depressed because the lack of mental and social stimulants has forced us to look at our true self, completely naked, no layers. And I'm speaking out of experience, obviously. There's only so much Netflix shows that one can watch before one begins to question really everything about themselves. It's extremely uncomfortable. And you know what? Most people will do their absolute best to chase after another mental stimulant or social stimulant, whatever kind of stimulant, to avoid that. But listen, if there's one thing this crazy ride of a life has taught me is that more often than not, when you do uncomfortable things, they tend to be the most rewarding by far. So I did it. I picked up meditation to help me look at my true self, butt naked. And the result? I had some of my questions answered. Others I still struggled to figure out. But more importantly, I found a new level of peace. So it's easily one of the best things I've done, not just in the past year and a half, but in all of my life. So what I'm trying to say is I looked at isolation as a form of salvation. And I think you'll find a lot of peace of mind if you try to do that as well. Solution number two, keep yourself busy. Have you noticed that the response lately to, hey, what have you been up to, is always, just watching Netflix or, just watching TikToks? Like, listen, I understand. You've probably been let go of your job or you had your hours reduced or any of the above that truly affects your level of productivity and your sense of accomplishment. That's just it. You need to take control of that. If they, and by they I'm referring to the government, your employer, whatever, if they can't provide you with a reason to wake up every day and do something productive with your life and feel accomplished, then in my opinion, I feel like it's your duty as a human being, your duty as someone who won the genetic lottery to experience all of this, is to find a reason to do something with your life to feel like you have some sort of a meaning. Because consuming Netflix and watching all these TikToks is not going to do that. And please don't take what I'm about to say as my own way of pumping my own tire, but I was let go as well. Believe it or not, I used to perform magic before the pandemic happened. So I relied solely on gigs and on social gatherings. Obviously, I can't do that anymore. So what did I do? After I found out that, okay, you know what? This COVID thing is not going anywhere. I had to adapt. So I started reading books. I started taking online courses. I started networking. I did everything I could to set myself up and to feel productive and to feel like I'm accomplishing something. I made sure that whatever is that I did made me feel like I'm progressing, opposing to taking steps backwards, which felt like everyone else was doing. And never forget this quote, guys: misery loves company. So it's easy to look at something like Netflix and all your friends are watching Netflix, they're inviting you to Netflix parties, and you think, it's just an innocent thing. And now, before any of you snowflakes watching this and telling me, there's nothing wrong with watching a couple of Netflix episodes, there's nothing wrong with looking at a couple of funny TikToks, I'm just trying to get a good laugh. Well, here's what I have to say. It's pretty simple, really. You don't have to justify anything to anyone, especially not me. If you really believe that your level of consumption isn't harming you, then my opinion should be irrelevant. However, it's important to know, if you did get offended by what I said, then I would argue there is some level of truth behind it, or else you wouldn't have gotten offended. So really think about that. All right, now solution number three, drink lots of alcohol. Okay, solution number three, control the quality of input. When I think about it, there are only two levels of inputs you have control over: people and social media. Let's talk about the first one. Granted, while in lockdown, you can't really control the people that you live with, assuming that you do live with other people. But there are still ways around it. I personally have different views and lifestyle choices than the rest of my family. So I was privileged enough to have access to a car during the lockdown. So what I would do is I would take the car as much as I could to create that space between me and them. A necessary space, by the way. But more importantly, it wasn't just me taking the car. No. Those car rides or even walks, if the weather allowed it, like today's beautiful, it would be easily accompanied by podcasts or audiobooks, for example. Anything that helped fill a gap in my life or at least set me up to be better in the near future. So for example, if I needed just to get a good laugh, I personally would listen to like the old 10-minute podcast episodes. If I needed to feel motivation to work out or just do anything, my go-to is always and still is David Goggins. If I needed to address my anxiety about my financial situation, then I would listen to Peter Lynch's One Up on Wall Street, for example. Whenever I had full control of input, I would do my absolute best to ensure that whatever it is that I'm consuming is something that will make me not just feel better, but be better today, tomorrow, and in the near future. As for social media, the bane of my existence, I did what the kids call a social media detox for, if I'm not mistaken, 8 months. You don't have to do a complete detox. There are many ways to go about it, but find whatever solution to limit your time spent on your phone, especially on social media, or to limit the amount of information you're getting from your phone. I find that the input you receive from social media is more often than not negative. And the last thing you need during lockdown is any type of negativity. So if you need to cut that out, just do it. I, for one, by the way, struggle with this by far the most. Social media is extremely addicting. That's no secret. So I really hope I'm not coming off as if like, I'm a social media guru. I know when to consume it, when to not, and so on. No. I'm still battling this every single day. But there's no doubt in my mind that when I did that detox, I felt much better mentally. And I recommend it to everyone. At least do it once. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you managed to stay happy or, not completely depressed during the lockdown, then by all means, share some of your tips in the comments down below. I'm sure there are other people that would get a benefit out of it. But yeah, guys, that's it for me for today. If you enjoyed the video and you made it all the way here, I would really appreciate if you could actually like the video, especially if you found any type of value from it. But like I said, that was it for me for today. I will see you next Monday with a brand new video. All right. Thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye.